going to give a presentation on kind of their like tinkering story, kind of go over projects they have, equipment that they have available to use, and that sort of thing. And I might say a couple words about how you can go to Harold Washington Library and go to their makerspace there. That's I've made stuff there. At least their laser cutter. They have 3D printers there as well, all free to use. So if you guys want to head back there, gather around that table of mess, and I can kind of go over some of the projects that we'll be using. All right, come closer. Don't be shy. So week 1 is the toy teardown. You know, I'm just gonna bring over the next So this is our tinkering pretty much. As far as tools go, you know, I got a set of like screwdrivers. You know, some of them might not need necessarily, but everyone has like a set of these as well. Again, they're like smaller screwdrivers. Malcolm X doesn't have so many because we have the least amount of participants. So everything's based on like how many participants each site has. There's safety glasses in here, so feel free to use them and everything. Again, and this is where we would definitely need more tools. First week, again, this is the toy that I took apart. Is this little elephant. It has like a little DC motor in it. All the plastic parts I put back in here, but this is just an example. I mean, I had it was like a fun Saturday wasting. I took all of the elephant legs apart. You know, there's a lot of hidden screws in there, so just, you know, if they're having trouble breaking a toy apart, just like look for any other screws that might be in there, and then use excessive force if that doesn't work. And then here's all the internal components to said toy. So here, this is where the motor and battery holder was. The little tail piece had a little sliding metal that went back and forth, so the battery would be here. They would put the tail up, and that would turn the battery on because it would complete the circuit with this little, I just made that switch, with this little motor. And this was like mounted in here on the other side, and then there's a bunch of gears and stuff. So just like have them draw it in along the way. And again, I didn't have any tiny screwdrivers, these like glasses screwdrivers. This is what I was using to take this toy apart. So you don't need something super like hardy to break apart a toy. And then yeah, there were some gears in here as well. So again, have them take pictures along the way, just so if they do want to sketch how the toy works, they can go back to those pictures and kind of see how it might turn or whatever.
So having like a plastic cup or something to keep all your stuff together will probably be good, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're gonna be using.
So you won't lose the parts.
Yeah, we're gonna be using plastic cups for the art bot. I didn't put them in the kits because I didn't buy any at the time. But if any volunteer wants to bring in like a stack of like 50 like solo cups, then they can put the little components in here. And I would ask them too, like separate out your components into like plastic and fabrics and electronic components, and then this is how you can build up your tinkering arsenal. So if they want to go back and use this perfectly fine motor, then they can make another project, another bot with a different motor and all the wires and stuff like that. So it's kind of like good to have, and then we can also just collect all the items too if we want to use them for a different module or whatever, or if they want to take them home and use it on something that they're working on, go right ahead. All right, so that's week 1. Week 2, the sellable circuits class, which is probably like the most exciting one that I'm like really pumped for. I don't know why, maybe because I never knew electronics until it's I started planning everything, and I'm like, oh, this is not so bad. But I think here's my really crappy pin that I made. So I know I went over, you know, we're going to be using these lily pad components This is the starter, for example. This is the size of the pin we'll be making. And, you know, this is what it looks like. We glued them on because it is a bit hard to hold it and sew it at the same time. So we glued those on, pre-glued those on. This one is made with regular electronic components. This is the back side, this is the front side. So I made a little rain cloud, put my name on there, I'll wear it with pride even though it looks really dirty. But here's the coin cell battery. I taped the thread to the battery on both sides. I have a thread going to a resistor and then a thread going to, what is this, a snap? And then the snap will be my switch. And then from the other side of the snap to my LED, and then from my LED to my battery.
Are you using like a cloth tape, like so what kind of tape do you use?
I just use masking tape
Oh,
to put the thread on the battery. Yeah. Everything else is I just used regular thread to sew the snap on there, and I have a bag of snaps in each box as well. So if someone wanted to do something like this, they can do that. So I put the snap down, it lights up, and on the other side, it looks like I have a little rain cloud.
oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And on the lesson plans for the syllable circuits, they have all different types of pins. So if they don't know what they want to do, I can put it up there real quick if you guys want to see some of the ideas. Some of them had like a winky emoji with their tongue sticking out, and the light was the tongue. Or they have a star with like a rainbow behind it, or like a rocket ship, or you know, whatever. There's some pre-cut felt stuff in here, so if they want to do like, you know, like a basic flower or something like that, there's basic shapes in here as well, hearts already cut, so that makes it a little bit easier to make a different design. There is something else. Let me see. I wrote a bunch of notes in here. I don't know if I got to all of those.
So will there be a presentation explaining like this information here, or are you saying we just need to pull it up ourselves off of?
The presentation will be you guys like doing it with the yarn and the needle.
Okay.
And then basically, you know, kind of like, I don't know if you guys have time right now to go over it, but the YouTube video I watched is about 45 minutes long, but it explains everything that you need.
What?
No. I know, right? But I fast forward through a bunch of it because like they keep just chatting and
Is that in the PowerPoint?
it's in the classroom guide.
Okay.
So it'll say resources at the bottom, and if you click on that link, it'll take you right there.
So Des, we just gonna schedule a meeting time and we're gonna sit at
Oh, for
my
sure.
desk.
Yeah.
It-
But each class, and let me see where Malcolm X's is.
That ain't nobody about.
This is your metal thread here. So this is conductive thread. These are the LEDs. You can see how tiny they are. So yeah, I would hand them out after when they're ready. Or they might disappear. And again, a box of regular LEDs resistors are in here. This is actually all of Harvey. I don't know where Malcolm X is actually.
On that side
There we
right
go,
there.
perfect. Thank you. So in here as well, there are needles with threaders in here. I got a lot of different threaders. You know, just tell them to be patient because it is kind of hard to work with the stainless steel thread. I don't know if they'll need help threading a needle if they ever have done that before.
For people who've done a lot.
Yeah, it's hard for even me.
The harder it is.
Yeah, and like just tell them it's okay because even as an adult we all struggle. And here are the pin backs. So this once they're done with their circuit, as I was up there, there are really large ones actually. As I was up there, I was thinking like, you know, make sure you're not putting this across the two wires. You know, make sure use ample glue between that because you might create a short circuit if you are touching both of the sides of the wire. So yeah, just be aware of that when you attach them to the pin.
What's your vision? Is it that they sit at a table, on the floor, or comfortable? Like, where do you?
I would say probably
Or-
a couple of kids per table. So like all over, like literally around the sewing table. So I put all the materials kind of like in the middle, like shared scissors. They have little emery boards. In one of the, so here I think there's some emery boards at the bottom. So I would just like put out an emery board on each table. But like groups of 6 to 8 probably are probably okay, and like especially if it's a mix of older and younger girls. That way the older girls can help the younger girls if they need to. All right. Any questions? Okay. If anyone wants to make one too, by the way, we can do that. I don't know if you guys have to.
How much thread are they? Because I can see them going through a lot of thread.
Each girl has like an arm's length of thread.
Okay.
So like I think it's basically each girl can get like 6 feet of thread. So that should be enough.
Okay, but you know how they go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, we're going like literally this far away. So yeah. I allowed for about an order of magnitude more. Yeah.
So it's gonna take a lot of thread to get.
Yeah. So, and that's just for like a demonstration. That's a blunt needle. The regular needles are just like your regular size needles. And as I was looking at them, I was thinking those needles are kind of small, so I might just order kind of larger needles for that week. Just because I think it might be a little bit challenging with the smaller needle holes. So it's on my list of things to do. And if I can get a representative's address, I can just send it right to your address from Amazon. All right, and so that's week 2. Week 3 is the art bot over here. It's a silly little thing here. Each box has markers, pencils. So we just need cups. Yeah, it's it wasn't too bad. It's really cute and funny. So you just need a solo cup, some tape, 3 markers. There's battery packs. So this is like a typical pack that we had made. So here you have a little DC motor. This is part of a glue stick. This is a counterweight, so it wobbles. A switch, an extra wire, and a battery holder. And there's double A batteries in here. As I was putting these together, I realized I need to send each site a lot of wire strippers. It was really hard for me because I didn't realize how short the exposed wire was.
We have wire cutters from a module before.
We have wire cutters, but not wire strippers. So using the wire stripper is a lot easier.
Well, you're probably just using 22 gauge wire, and a wire stripper doesn't strip that very easy.
No.
I mean, there's ways to do it. I wouldn't tell Pearl to do it.
Yeah, so exactly. I use scissors and those
Or
pliers.
I use an exact knife, or
Yeah.
when I was in the field, I just used my key.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, but I gotta try and see if I can get very fine.
I'm just saying a standard one is not going to do it.
Yeah.
22 gauge very.
Yeah, so I was gonna see if I can find like a smaller one that might work. So we got I think 5 weeks to figure it out. So we'll make sure everyone kind of gets a set of those. And also that's a good tool for girls to learn how to use as well. It's pretty simple, and then kind of builds up their confidence and dexterity. I think also another thing to kind of remind them too is everyone feels awkward using tools for the first time. Like a lot of people look like it's seamless, but it's not. You're struggling. And they just like make it look good as you're struggling. So that's something also to kind of reiterate as they are making things. In each box, there's also.
What does Lionel do?
Huh? Oh yeah, sure. You named him?
Yeah.
So there's a little switch. Each bag comes with a little switch. You turn this guy on. I can uncap him, put him on a piece of paper. He might fall over. He's a little bottom. That's for them to figure out. I put the battery holder on the side, and I will tell you that's probably not my best thing that I did. But his legs are. You can see I already tested him out. I hope you work. It'd be really embarrassing if you didn't. He's dying. He's dying a little bit. So there he goes. There you go. There you go. All right, so that's Lionel. And again, They can, if we could get some big pieces of paper, poster board,
Oh,
that would be
that'd be cute.
great. So they could just draw. You can tell them to move the counterweight, different areas. You can cut the weight and see what that does to the design.
They're gonna wanna take that home.
Oh yeah, they could take it home.
So taking the markers home is not gonna
Sure.
be, okay.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna say, I'm taking
Yeah, as soon as they put it together.
Yeah.
that one's gonna go home with them, just like the sewing
Oh,
stuff.
the
we have the
sewing one
paper
is
at
supposed to
the
go
job,
home with
so you
them.
don't
This
have
is
to-
theirs
Yeah.
to keep. This one,
Oh.
however, we only have 72 these DC batteries, and it's kind of like a group thing. So you guys can like kind of determine who's going to take it home. If someone took something home from, I don't know, yeah, kind of rock paper scissors. Be fair. And again, if they want to make something in addition to, if we do have enough DC batteries from the toy take apart, they could make something as well from that. On this over here as well, I was making kind of this paper circuit as a demonstration. There is a lot of copper tape in your boxes. So if they want to make some crafts with paper circuits, they can make cards, whatever. There's a lot of inspiration online, but feel free to even send them home with a bunch of that tape wrapped around, because we have plenty of it. A little note about making a copper tape circuit is, and this is something that I realized I was doing wrong as we were sitting here, is that this little LED, it needs to sit on top of the tape, and so it needs to be sandwiched between two pieces of tape. So you're gonna lay out so I'll pull this guy, I can't actually pull him out, but this is actually two pieces of tape right here on the legs. Another note about the LEDs, which I wrote handily on the top of one of the kits, is the longer leg on the LED is the positive. So
Important to know that.
one thing you can do to help you not lose part of your positive leg is to color it. Color the positive leg with like a Sharpie or something like that. That way, if you end up curling it, if you're curling the leg to make a sewable circuit or something like that, then you don't lose track of which one's longer or shorter. Because it is hard to tell when they're like bent. And I can write that on each of those ones, or just send out a reminder. But I think it is written in the classroom guide. So when I was making this, you kind of want to make a little circle for your battery. You want to make sure you're you're not short circuiting before you add the battery. You want to show them like, okay, these are our wires. This is where the electrons are going to be flowing, positive to negative, and then back around. So that means this side needs to be positive. So my little plus sign on my 3-volt battery, my coin cell battery, needs to be facing up, and then the negative sign will be facing down. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to fold it, and it's going to light up.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh, it does. It goes from negative to positive. It flows only one way. That's all I read online. But sure, it goes this way, apparently, negative to positive. Again, if they want to experiment with this or play with this after they make their art box, after they make their sewable circuit, we have plenty of materials for them to work with here as well. And we should have some extra coin cell batteries, so no problem. And then the hydraulic arm, TBD, it's probably going to be kitted already. And then I'll put together all that information for you and send it out. Same thing, we'll have a classroom guide, a presentation, and then the kits.
Are you gonna have a funnel, jug of water or something like that for some? Oh, we can get the jug.
Yeah.
The water. I just need a jug to put it in.
Yeah, and some dye.
Yeah, colored water.
Yeah,
Colored?
yeah. So in our kit, I saw that we do have dye already from a previous module.
We do.
I
We
think
do
so.
too.
Yeah,
We do.
yeah. So if
It's
you guys want to
definitely
reuse that,
Rumors, we have scissors,
Mhm.
like a lot of stuff.
yeah. So any materials we can like bring here, and they can kind of
So
play around with.
You're using a syringe as your cylinder, and you're
Mhm.
using a syringe as your pump.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so it's good to like have them color coded each pair. So then when you are pressing down on one, you know what arm you're actuating. So if the yellow is the one that turns, then you'll have a yellow plunger. So like the fluid will be the same, so you can tell which one you're actually moving. And then if you can do a couple different fluids if we want to. Again, I'll try and figure this out. You could do like just air. You could do water, and you could do like corn oil, something like that.
Do you have a couple different size syringes or just one?
I just have one size. Yeah.
Because it would be cool to show like it has a multiplier. If you go from a little syringe to a lot of movement, it gives you just a little movement. If you got a bigger service or a bigger service, gives you a lot of movement on the smaller.
I was thinking of doing that for like a demo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if you just had.
Because I deal with like hydraulics at work all the time. And
So if you just had a
yeah.
couple that we could just demonstrate, this is how you use hydraulics as a force multiplier.
Yeah.
That's what its big advantage is.
Sure, yeah. I could put that in as like the introduction, and then the kit will be the application.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it just be
Yeah.
kind of.
Let me, I'm
So
gonna
they
actually
kind
write
of
that
see
down.
it, and they get an odd understanding why hydraulics are used for excavators and all that other stuff. You
Yeah.
can take a small force and turn it into a big application.
Right, does a lot of work for you. Yep. I don't know where my pen is. But yeah, so that's all I have so far. Do you guys have any questions? Wow, so quiet. Okay.
It's a lot to say.
It's a little hard to take it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, let's
I
make
think
some
you did a
stuff.
good job.
Thank you. I
Back on to
appreciate it.
Katie.
Woo, you guys. No, I know it's a bit of a different direction, but I appreciate you guys being willing to try it. So,
It's engineering.